How to build a social brand. Now this is thoughtful. Hello, I'm Kitty Boo in Shanghai. Today we're bringing you the third episode of Thoughtful, sponsored by Weibo, China's leading microblogging platform, to help marketers understand this market's social media environment and use it more effectively to build online relationships with local consumers. If you'd like to hear more from the speakers in this sponsored series, Weibo is hosting a discussion site where viewers can interact with our guests and other industry members. You can access this site through the QR code on the screen or through Thoughtful's Weibo account at the link below. In this episode of our six-part series, our panelists Ken Hong, Kevin Ko, and Karen Ho share insights about how brands and agencies should leverage the power of social to build brands that are truly loved and supported by their fans. And Leon Zhang will share a thought or two about why social is not just another marketing channel. But first with us in the studio today is Sue Bai, Senior Manager of Digital Marketing for Coach China. Hi Sue, welcome to our studio.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Coach is a great case study of how brands can use social media to connect with affluent consumers in China. Many luxury brands like your own and also Gucci, Prada are investing heavily in digital marketing. Why is digital marketing so important for these brands to grow brand equity and also increase sales?
Obviously, the latest data has shown us 630 million above and growing in online population, and we know that this is a significant number for us. And internally in Coach, we've also done our consumer research, and we found out that digital is the top 3 source of awareness when they find out who Coach is. So digital is obviously a very important channel for us.
And tell us a little bit about your fan base on Weibo. How many fans do you have up there now, and how long did it take you to accumulate so many fans?
As of last week, 1.5 million. We started with our account 3 years ago in September 2011, and over the last 3 years, we've seen tremendous opportunity in Weibo. So the growth comes from many different campaigns and also brands activity as well as celebrity endorsement.
I understand that you have a huge fan base on social media. What do you do to maintain these fans?
Oh, we do a couple of things. First and foremost, we do content generation. And a lot of these are coming from the brand's own content. There could be heritage, brand stories, products. And also, we do have seasonal promotional activities that we also bring awareness on Weibo. At the same time, we have a closer relationship with our online influencers, that we have a Weibo media aggregator and KOL campaign, that we have products that we share with them, ask them to try on, share, tell us about what they think of the product, what matches with their current accessories and product, etc. Also, at the same time, in the last few years, we've worked with top celebrities. So Li Hong is one of the examples, and lately Angelababy on Weibo.
Yeah, speaking of Angelababy, one of your recent campaigns on Weibo was inspired by this Chinese model and actress, Yang Ying, also known as Angelababy. So she went to the New York Fashion Week back in September, and your campaign is basically asking fans to choose their favorite items on your Coach website and share them on Weibo, essentially to win a chance of these very products. Yes. What was that campaign like?
Okay. It's actually a very unique one because Coach just started entering New York Fashion Show this year, and then September was the second one. And then we see the opportunity to work with Angelababy because of her awareness in Weibo. She has over 40 million fans group.
Over 40 million fans on Weibo. Wow, that's a lot of fans.
Yeah, and also her being young and fashion and aspirational is also a key attribute of Coach. So we do see that as an opportunity. And this campaign started in September 6th, and it actually lasted only for a week. We had a couple of ideas that working closely with Weibo, and one of them is to vote for your favorite Angelababy's look. And also we invited fashion bloggers such as Gogo Boy to lead the discussion about what is modern luxury. Modern luxury to us is a new brand proposition that we wanted to create in China in this year. So the KOLs invited other experts in the area of not just fashion, in music, in arts, and traveling, and U.S. drama to talk about what they think is the new modern luxury for China, and then that ties in very closely with Coach. So in this campaign, it's leading by Angelababy, follow with other celebrities and key influencers to create a strong buzz, and we felt that that's considered a very successful campaign because we have for the very first time in digital marketing in Coach, we invested heavily on Weibo for this campaign.
You mentioned that it's a very successful campaign. Two questions. How many participants did you get?
Well, in this campaign, first of all, we look at viewership, 35 million viewership, and also over 34,000 in terms of discussion mentioning of Coach New York Fashion Week. Mm-hmm. And also at the same time, we have over 15,000 people voted for Angelababy's looks, and also over 18,000 saying that they liked the product. They selected the like on Angelababy's own Weibo.
Okay, well, that's quite some impressive numbers there. Second question, when you mentioned this is a successful campaign, how do you measure an ROI for a campaign like this? How do you decide whether this is successful or not?
Some of the basic metrics that we do look at, for example, the fans growth within that week was over 40,000. And also we look at the viewership compared with other key products, key brands in this category. 35 million is considered very, very high in the 7-day period. Also, we look at brand mentioning during that period versus other periods of the year. So that's considered a very high number. So all in all, we look at viewership, engagement, and also fans growth. So these are the three basic metrics that we look at.
So the three basic metrics that you just mentioned, based on that, are there any other examples you can share on Weibo as campaigns that are quite successful?
Yes. Actually, lately, particularly in the last 2 years, we've run a couple of similar activities. A lot of them are global originated. For example, last year, end of 2013, we had a campaign called Coach New York Story. And this is actually led by a couple of famous celebrities and New Yorkers. And they could be common people and also celebrity New Yorkers such as Li Hong. And they actually shot videos of their experience in New York, what they really like about the New York fashion and New York lifestyle. And those, in a campaign, those videos were actually exposed on Weibo. We're inviting our users to share, to tell us which of the favorite New York stories that really inspired them, for a chances to win a small incentive from Coach. And that is also very successful because at that time we had over 29,000 discussion of Coach New York stories. And also in this year, on Mother's Day, we had a similar campaign called My First Coach. And by the meaning of My First Coach, it doesn't mean to share us your first coach bag. It's actually tell us your story with your mom being your first coach. And that actually resonates very closely with the Chinese audience. Also in 2 generations of Chinese moms. So participants are either young Chinese moms who are very active digitally. They wanted to share with us their photos with their babies, and also mature moms with children that are already in digital savvy, and they wanted to share with us their first coach story with their mom when they were young. How their mom teach them to go to school, to write something, to draw something. For example, my first dance class with my mom. Those are the stories that resonates very well with the Chinese audience, and that actually also had over 5,000 participants sharing with us their photos of their moms.
Could you compare the earned, owned, and paid media in the context of Coach's social media?
I think for us, social media is not exactly just earned media. To us, it's a combination of all these three. So in a way, it is an owned media because we have our own branded content on there. We have earned media because we do have influencer circles where they will help to generate content for us. We also work with some of the leading fashion vertical sites and their Weibo accounts, where they will promote our latest collection on a monthly basis. So to us, social media is a combination of earned and owned and paid media.
Mm-hmm. How do you leverage the paid advertising formats to work together with the other media formats?
For Weibo particularly, there are many useful paid media tools that we can use. We've tried a couple of things. I mean, during the New York Fashion Week, we tried the headline, what they call a top headline. We also have filtered news feed where we actually can select by age, by geography, by their demographics and interests, where we will send out news posts and to those that are interested to receive information that might be relevant to them.
Does your brand rely heavily on big events like the New York Fashion Week to be able to leverage the cross-screen interactions and also the effects?
Yes, New York Fashion Week for us is a big event for the year, but that's not only just that. Throughout the year, Coach rely heavily on holiday campaigns, and that it could be Christmas, Chinese New Year, Mother's Day, and Father's Day. Also, we do a couple of store opening events that we work closely with the landlord's Weibo account, and also we have anniversary campaigns that work closely with our products. For example, in 2011, we had our 70th anniversary campaigns on Weibo, and coming up, we will have, for example, the product anniversary in the next year or so.
Great, Sue. Thanks for sharing with us your insights.
Thank you.
Let's take a quick break, then we'll hear from Leon Zhang, National Head of Social Media at MediaCom, with 6 points to help you improve your social media strategy.
Thoughtful China, as the name suggests, provides very thought-provoking discussions about topics that are relevant and timely with regards to China marketing scene.
Building a social brand is a long journey, just like Rome was not built in one day. Here are 6 key things to make it happen. 1. A top-down paradigm shift to get management buy-in. Social is not just another marketing channel, but a fundamental part in both consumers' daily behaviors and the brand's business functions, including marketing, talent acquisition, and product development. So the management buy-in to this concept is very important to drive any necessary infrastructure changes. 2. Clear and distinctive brand characteristics. There are so many brands in social media that users hardly to remember an ordinary one, not to mention love. So a brand should have a very distinctive characteristics in social media, aligned with the brand DNA and adapted to social culture. 3. At least one hero product, which is really awesome. Consumers are smart. If we want them to love us, we have to be worthwhile for their love. So develop at least one hero product, which is absolutely outstanding in certain areas to give users a tangible reason to love. 4. Infrastructure change. Adjust the infrastructure such as product development process to create more opportunities for users to feedback and participate in our business. This can create a sense of ownership among users so that they feel they are a part of the brand. 5. An inside-out approach. Turn employees into fans first. The employees are potentially powerful advocates and fans, so consider an internal advocacy program to recruit, identify, train, and facilitate employees to become brand fans on social media to influence others. 6. Facilitate the word-of-mouth spreading process. Real fans always want to spread the word of mouth, and we should definitely facilitate this by building platforms at where they are and designing simple, beneficial, and interesting mechanisms to start rolling the snowball.
Well, thanks, Leon. We're back in our studio today with Ken Hong, General Manager of Marketing Strategy at Weibo, Kevin Ko, Digital Head at Maxis China, and Karen Ho, Head of Client Development at MEC China. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Well, today we're talking about how agencies and brands are leveraging the power of social to build brands that are loved and truly supported by their fans. Ken, through what you do at Weibo, you've seen a lot of good examples and bad examples of how agencies and brands are utilizing this platform. Could you share some examples with us, good and bad?
Sure. I'll share some good examples first. And I think, we're talking here about branding, building brands through social media. I think we are seeing more and more brands are doing more innovative stuff, including pay media formats as well. I'll give you 3 examples specifically. The first one, I would say, let's think about a multinational big company, which is KFC, right? So I think fairly recently, a couple months ago, they started launching a new product, I think called Bao. So they actually leveraged, they had a celebrity asset, which is one of the Korean movie star, Jin Yubing, and we actually helped them to also identify, because he is their spokesperson for this product, and we helped them to identify the target audience who are what we call Korean drama fans, right? So people who have followed these different Korean drama accounts, follow these Korean stars, and they also prepare specific content. And when they launched that, and the engagement rate, the highest engagement rate was over 20%, right?
Wow, that's very impressive.
So again, that's and we're talking about millions of target audience when they first see this content out. So I think this is one example. I think I would say brands using combining the celebrity powers as well as the targeting capabilities in the ads, and then you are seeing very high engagement rates resulting from that. The second example I'll give you is also a large but local brand, for example, like Yili. So Yili, actually, what they've done a lot this year is they obviously investing a lot in traditional TV shows as well, right? They're sponsoring from Baba Chuna, like the second season. And so in addition to that, they also are doing a lot more on Weibo right now, what we call the cross-screen interaction. Yeah, exactly. So basically when people are watching these shows, how do you start promoting this stuff, getting people interested before the show? How do you have that real-time dialogue as people watching the show as well? After the show, how to extend that conversation? So Yili has done a lot of that as well. So they're investing pretty heavily in both TV as well as social media on Weibo of that. So I think you're seeing tremendous growth in terms of conversations and fans growth. So I think that's the second example I'll give you. And the third one, I'll give you another small local brand. Probably not a lot of people know about that yet. So which is called WIS. So it's out of Guangzhou, so it's a small Chinese brand. They only started 3 years ago. They sell skincare products, mostly acne treatment, facial creams and things like that. So by third year, I think now they're reaching about 300 million RMB in revenue. And mostly they're doing this through social media, right? So I think this is a great example for building a brand as well as seeing the real results, I would say, through social media. So what they do is, I mean, in addition to the content they're managing and creating on an ongoing basis, they're also a regular, I would say, buyer in terms of our feed advertising product. So they consistently try to reach out to the target audience, acquire quality fans, and so they've done the math very clearly. So they calculate the kind of the cost that's going to be efficient, providing the positive ROI. So they're consistently trying to invest in that kind of product to acquire fans. Once these people become their fans, and then they do ongoing dialogues and services and pushing out promotions and all that kind of stuff. So again, I think that's a great example of a small company. The local company can build brands through social media there as well. So those are, I would say, 3 successful cases. I wouldn't name a particular brand as
for the bad examples.
Bad examples, just because my memory falls short on that. But I think going forward, I think the not so good examples, I would say, are brands who are still staying with the traditional way of doing social media, who only rely on creation of content or these big accounts. I think brands probably going to find that's going to become more and more less and less effective, I guess. So.
Earlier, I was talking to Subai with Coach about the same question, but more with the luxury focus. But now let's talk mass market. How are brands utilizing both earned, owned, and paid media in the context of social?
Okay. A lot of clients, of course, they understand that. Of course, they understand what's paid media, and of course, now like Weibo, the platform. Okay, it's also owned media and earned media. Okay, so a lot of times that they ask questions about how do we effectively use this platform, social media. So a lot of clients, firstly, what they starting to do with social media is that they create a lot of contents. Okay, so based on brand, the brand theme and things like that, the campaigns, and create a lot of contents, hoping that they can engage a lot of consumers and having a lot of the UGC campaigns, things like that. So as Ken said, it's probably not the most effective way nowadays to engage consumers. So they're also starting looking at the paid media on social media. So I think also it's also a very good approach on that, because what I'm saying is because you understand who is in that social media platform, and of course you understand the people, so you can have a paid media to reach that people. But the most important thing is that how do you use the right creative content on that paid media to engage with consumers? Because even for traditional media or even for digital display ads or even OTVs, they try to use one single message to communicate to all people, which for me is not correct. Okay, because for social media, the nature of social media is that people log on to social media. The way they log on to social media is they want to engage with their friends. They want to talk to their friends. They are not here to see your ads originally. So you have to create some sort of new different paid media formats in order to engage the consumers and relevant message for the consumers. And that will be the better way of using social media as a paid side. So the on side, how do you create content? I think is also a very big topic that we need to talk about, because clients like I shouldn't name them. Clients.
Just clients.
Yeah, just clients. Yeah, just clients. Okay, they trying to push a lot of sales promotion type of messages, and they have 7 or 8 posts every day, and it's all about promotions, buy one get one free, 30% off, these kind of things. I said, shouldn't do that, right? Because otherwise people just get very bored about all your content. They don't want to engage with you. So I think there are a lot of topics on the what's the content should be developed, and what's the creative, and how do you precisely target the right message in the right format on social media.
Yeah, relevancy of content is key, and then Weibo accounts shouldn't be utilized as a way of just pushing off these promotions. Yeah, to maintain fans also.
Yeah, it's really more kind of like if you imagine your whole marketing program as a campfire, right? As a campfire that you already have a small fire, but that is actually your own media. It's like, okay, you start a small campfire right here, but you want people to get into it, so you bring in more wood, which is essentially what we consider as a paid media, to really amplify, to make the fire stronger and better, so other people would know about it and come join the campsite. You're saying like, okay, have a good time about it. If you see it that way, then essentially it goes back to what Kevin said. Like, it goes back to the original sense of like, what is your own media about? What is the original message? Because all those would is help you to amplify it and to help you to get other, well, in marketing word, there will be the awareness about it. So in particular case, then it's going about it. Do you have a message to tell differently between your paid media and own media? Is your paid media going to bring you to the own media to find out more, that should it be more interesting, engaging, or trigger you to do something else? And then you get something more about it. A campfire, you might end up hooking up with someone, and that you have a good time about it. Then that's why next time you bring more friends to it. So if you think of that perspective, then all of our brands, particularly if you're talking about mass audience, then it's all about what we are providing that is truly useful and relevant in that own message platform. So it's really not about just like frequently promoting the 7 messages, but do you have a special promotion that only that platform have, or is there anything that you're not disclosing within your paid media, and here all of a sudden you get a different message or a hint to get more? So that would be the role of different the media per se, to get into the mass market.
Last question, in brief words, what is your advice for brands trying to build social brands in China?
Visibility is one thing as of like how are you as a brand live and breathe within the social media space, and that is all about the user experience itself, and that they feel relevant and then further engaged.
Understand the platform, understand social media, what it can do. Okay, it cannot do all the things. Okay, so every different media touch points got a different role. Okay, figure it out. and use it wisely.
Be personal, talk the same language as your fans. So in Chinese now we call it 接地气, right? So it's like you have to, you can't be always high up there as a brand. You really have to calm down, be grounded. Yeah, exactly. Be among your customers, be among your fans. So I would say that's the first thing. The second thing, even though you are be among with your fans and your customers, but make your brand, build your brand into a celebrity. So I think don't think this as a cold, faceless, humanless brand. You can be, when you are among your fans, how do you want to build yourself into somebody who loves you, right? People chase, people follow celebrities, and brands can be celebrities. So think about how do you build brands into a celebrity. And the third thing, I guess, once you get these two things figured out and you're ready, I think use all the tools and weapons, in social media. Don't just be there writing your 7 to 8 posts every day and saying good morning and good night and all that stuff. I think that obviously content remains to be critical.
Very good advice. Well, thank you, Ken. Thank you, Karen. And thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can visit the Weibo discussion site to interact with the guests on today's show, as well as other industry members. Access this site through the QR code on the screen here or through Thoughtful's Weibo account at the link below. We'll be back next month with the 4th episode in this 6-part series sponsored by Weibo with advice about how to use big data in your social media marketing. That wraps it up for today. Be sure to subscribe to us on Youku, Tudo, and YouTube. You can also follow us on Weibo, WeChat, and Twitter, and join our LinkedIn group. See you again.